Hi, it's Mitz. Thank you so much for being here. I haven't filmed a video for this channel in quite some time, and I wanted to share with you a big finished item that I worked on throughout the summer. I have a whole lot of whips, works in progress that I cannot fill. It cannot fit on this table, so I'm going to have to shift things around. But let's start off with the finished object, and then I'll go into all the other whips and things. So I'm just going to push this off to the side. I participated in the Wandering Flock knit along, and my lovely friend Wima gifted me some Wandering Flock yarn. So thankful. I decided to work on the Plumpy Shawl by Andrea Mowry, and it became a huge, like physically huge shawl. I didn't expect it to be so big, but my kids and I love it so very much, especially now that it's finally cooled down and we are getting some cooler temperatures. But yeah, I did brioche once before in a Stephen West shawl, and then so this is kind of like my second attempt, and so you'll see a lot of mistakes. I still need to cut off certain threads, but I just really like how squishy this turned out. I ended up using almost all of the yarn, and for some areas of the shawl I actually ran out, so I did substitute some of the yarns. You can see like the colorful rainbow yarn here. This one is from Rhichard I don't remember the last name. I'm very sorry, but it's a Canadian dyer, and I actually received that colorful skein from Wima as well. So you'll see bits, and I think it turned out really nicely. Like you'll see bits of that rainbow colored yarn peeking through. And I also used PiciKnit as well for this like pink variegated yarn, because like I said, I ran out. I didn't have enough of the Wandering Flock, but I think it turned out really nicely. It looks really seamless how it kind of, even though they're two separate yarns. But yes, this was a big project for me, and I spent a lot of my time doing the brioche, and near the end I felt like I got into a good rhythm, but I still I'm not comfortable with going backwards and fixing the brioche. Like you'll see some parts here, and there's other parts like here I probably messed up one line. Maybe I'm one stitch or a couple stitches off, but I couldn't I didn't know how to fix it, so I just left it as is, and I'm just so happy with the final product. Like I said, it's very squishy, it's very warm, and my kids wrap themselves up in the mornings and evenings with it. So this is my first finished object. I will leave the Ravelry information down below so you can see like a full photo of it, because I can't it's just way too big to share with you the full length of this shawl. But moving to the next work in progress, I am slowly working away on the Crochet Granny Stripe Throw, and I'm mainly using the Patreon mini skeins from Homespun House, and you can see I'm not really sure what I want to do here on the edge. I kind of want to maybe have some kind of yarn bits hanging out and use up all my scrap yarns, and especially because I can't seem to create a straight crochet edge. I'm not very good at it. I watched a couple videos several times and I just can't seem to, I don't know, I can't get the hang of it. So I think I'm going to just add a whole bunch of yarn on the ends and kind of mask that raggedy edge here. But yes, so a lot of the yarns are from a Homespun House, and some items from Fiberesque, and just some scrap yarns that I from socks or other projects, but it's turning into a very colorful, it's very colorful granny stripe throw, and it's at that point where it's big enough that I can kind of hang it on my knees and keep myself warm while I work on the throw. It's not fully blanket size. It might be for my kids, but it's more of like a throw size, so it keeps you warm when you're on the couch watching TV or something. So before I share with you the yarn, just a heads up that I will be sharing with you the Patreon minis from a homespun house. There was a huge delay with the August minis that I finally received. It's not their fault at all. It's probably the mail, like it was sitting in Germany for about a month. But I will be sharing with you the August and September, so if you haven't checked yours yet, I'm just giving you the heads up. So I keep my yarns in here from a homespun house. These are the recent ones. I will also share with you like an additional clip, and then some of the other ones that I have. I participated in a yarn swap for, I think it was 10-gram skeins, and so I rolled up some, and then I rolled up some extras for myself as well, and so I have them in there. All the little like short little yarn scraps, I have kind of connected them together and created some of the, I need to connect this one next to this little kind of magic, I think it's called the magic knot, and then create a kind of like a scrappy yarn ball when I'm finished. But that's the ongoing process of my scrappy unravel. I realize the next several yarns are going to be very autumnal in color, so I don't know if I'm going to switch things up and maybe add one of these in between, because it's going to be a very big like autumnal section in the throw, granny stripe throw, but at the same time I kind of want to keep it all together, so I haven't decided yet. Next, let's move on to what's on the table here. This is a first time knitting up a fingerless, I guess fingerless glove or fingerless mitt. It's for my daughter, so I put it on her hand and it fits really nicely. I guess I could use it for myself, but if it were for me, I would bring it a little bit more higher. I did find, I followed the pattern, I'll list it below. I think the pattern is called the November mitts, but I felt like it was too big, so I ended up removing one of the, I don't know what you'd call, one of the columns here, and I just did it by like rapidly decreasing there. But I think for myself, if I were to make another one, I would definitely omit one of the columns. It would be too loose, I think. But it knit up really nicely. I'm using the yarn from Morbid Kitty Fiber. I've been eyeing her shop for so long, and every time I go, the yarn sells out very quickly, but I was able to purchase this yarn here. I will also put a video, I think I filmed a video when I first opened up the yarn and caked it up, so I'm just holding it double with some silk mohair. I think this one is from Daruma, but I need to finish off. I think there's a section here that I need to add on, and then I'm finished one mitt and ready to knit up the second one for my daughter. My son likes it too, so I think they'll both wear this set. It's a really nice way to use up like yarns that might, after you finish knitting up socks, but it fits really nicely. So the next one is a Musselburgh Hat. The one that I made for myself last year was actually claimed by my son, and he said he wanted it, so I'm making another one for myself. And I was honestly a bit worried that there were bits of blue when I saw the skein, and when I caked it up, I see that the blue is very, very faint, and when you see it knit up, it's really not that noticeable. It's just little bits of blue here and there, but I'm really liking how I'm liking the color very, very much. And the dyer is a dyer here in Japan. Sorry, Morbid Kitty Fiber is also located in Japan. This one is from Knoop Yarn. I have the information inside there, but it's a very nice peachy color with little bits of blue and pops of orange. So I'm really excited to see how that knits up. It's getting a little bit chilly here in Tokyo, like the wind is getting very cold, so I'm really excited to get this worked up so that I can start using it. So the next couple of items are, I don't know how you would say, they're almost finished but not really. So this one here is one sock, and I purchased yarn from KFS. I think I don't know if it's only Japan or but they are known here for their sock yarn, and I wanted to finish the actual pair for the autumn season, but I don't know, I just finished one sock and then I just lost all momentum, and I'm not too sure why. But I did this one. I think I prefer toe up, because this section here, I find that my heels, like if I do it from cuff down, this slip stitch part ends up on here, but for me, and when I'm walking, I find that this down area wears out more. So I think I prefer toe up. And yeah, this is one of those like self-striping sock yarns, and eventually I hope to finish or do another do the sock number 2. And then this one, I lost momentum again. I did the Utsubo sock. I participated in the Utsubo sock cowl. I think that was running during the summertime, and I don't know, for some reason I did this pattern for the whole circumference of the foot. Usually I think you're supposed to just do the pattern just on the top of the foot and then just plain stockinette for the bottom, but for some reason I did it for the whole circumference, and so this size is really great, but then when it came to this one, I don't know what it is. I think I miscounted, and so it's a little bit, you see it's longer, and I can't seem to kind of get back into it. So I think I might frog it till the right area, like the right correct section, and just hopefully start on it again. But I really like this squishy pattern. If I remember to, I will leave the name on the screen. But for next time, I have to remember to just do the pattern from the top, only on the top of the foot, and not the whole circumference. It just takes up longer, and I feel not defeated, but just kind of discouraged because it's taking so long. But it's definitely really squishy, and it's a very simple pattern. It's easy to remember, which is really, really nice. And with the Utsubo sock, it's from the toe up, and I think I prefer that method. The heel and the gusset is a little bit different, and I really like the fit of this when I'm wearing, especially in the summertime when I don't really need long socks. And yeah, in the heel part where I have a lot of wear and tear, it seems more squishy and durable than just plain stockinette. And I decided to change it up a bit and do this section here with the different color. This actually came as a set. This I think is also Knoop Yarn, and it came as like a sock set. So yeah, I'm really glad with it. So this is the close-up of the yarn. It's very summery, and I completed one set of the Utsubo socks in like the plain kind of sock style, but then I decided I wanted to do some kind of some kind of design, and then I ended up doing the whole foot. So it's taking a lot of my, it took up a lot of my time. And I have a shawl and a sweater to show you. The shawl is it's touch and go. So I work on it a little bit, and then I rest, and then I work on it and then rest. It's the Vertices Unite shawl by Stephen West. And oh, I really like how the olive and the brown kind of stripe together. This part here, I kind of regret choosing this like darker gray. I was hoping for a lighter gray, but then when I knit it up, it looks a little bit more dark and on the bluish side. But I think I'm just going to leave it. But I'm really liking this olive and brown. And then this part here is where I'm at. I think most of these, actually, some of these yarns are from Irodori Yarn, and some of these, I think this one here is from Toi Toi Yarn. And I decided to go for the larger size for the Vertices Unite, and I feel like this shawl will be used very frequently. I'm really enjoying the colorway. I'm on this block here where it's like I think this is the biggest section maybe, but I'm down to like the decreases, so I'm almost getting there. I have a couple more sections to go, but let me show you the other side, like the wrong side. Sorry, this is just waste yarn. I always think it's important to show the right side and the wrong side. So it looks like this. You can see a bit, you can see that's what it looks like on the wrong side. So it's not, it's like some shawls, it's very noticeable. I realized with the shawlography, I think it is, and that's like totally hibernating. I feel like the right side and the wrong side are really different. And maybe that's why I've kind of lost my drive to work on that one. But with this one, the wrong side, you can see like a ridge, which isn't that noticeable. But yeah, so this is the Vertices Unite by Stephen West, and I'm really loving this stripy effect with the alternating colors here. A lot of the evenings lately I've been working on this block because I'm decreasing now and I feel like it's moving quicker. Sorry, I forgot to mention the needles. If you are curious and you want to know which needles I'm using, just please leave a comment down below. I mainly use the ones from PiciKnit, and PiciKnit offers Japanese sizes as well as overseas, like US sized needles. I like them because you can see that they swivel, and they're interchangeable. And this is the 3.5 millimeter that I'm working on. Okay, so next up, in my last, I guess would be my last whip to share with you, is a sweater. I'm doing a second White Mountains sweater by Midori Hirose. I did one last year using, what is that called? Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. And now I'm using a fingering weight, I think it's called Cloud Born Fibers. And I'm holding it double with a Surrey alpaca. And this one is from Irodori Yarn, and this one is the Japanese dyer, and it's so soft and so very nice. I think I knit my collar a bit too big, like I chose a big size. I was afraid that it wasn't going to go over my head. I should have tried it. I mean, I should have knit it up in the smaller size and tried it, but I ended up just going with it. But it's the pattern offers several different collars, which is really nice. I'm going to go with the fold over one. I've never done that before, but it's going to fold over, and then if I feel like after blocking it's a little too loose, I might just cinch it together. Somebody suggested using like elastic thread to kind of cinch it together, but when I put it over, like because it is top down, when I wear it just to see the length and the fit, so far the collar doesn't seem to be so bad. So yes, this is the White Mountains by Midori Hirose. I've been trying to find another sweater, but because I've done it once already, I feel like but I feel comfortable in trying another sweater in the same pattern, so that's why I decided to do that. And yes, it's it's so soft, and I think I prefer alpaca over mohair. I find that mohair sheds a lot. I don't know if that's just the mohair that I'm choosing, but yes, it's a very nice soft gray, and I'm excited to wear this for this season. I'm pretty sure that I will be able to wear it for this winter, maybe not this autumn, but for winter hopefully. And I'm using once again the PiciKnit, and this is the 4.5. I think on the pattern it says 4.5, but I did a swatch and I wasn't happy with the look of it, so I went to 4.5, and so far, that's the thing, is I'm not experienced enough to say the reason why I went down a size and the reason why I chose this specific size for this needle type. I'm just really winging it, and I did a swatch and I wasn't fond of the way that the 5.0 knit up, so I went down and I did a swatch with the 4.5, and I was happier with that. I wish I could be at the point where I can really explain myself better for the reasons why I chose this needle size and this kind of size in sweater, but I'm really winging it. I'm just knitting it up, and then I'm trying it every so often to make sure that it's fitting okay. And even like the increasing, I felt like the armhole was too small for me, so I went to a different sized armhole from the size that I'm knitting, and I just winged it, and so far it seems to be okay. I think one armhole is a little bit bigger than the other, so I'm gonna have to decrease a couple of stitches somewhere. I think it's this one that seems bigger. But yeah, I really want to get to the point. I know it's going to take me years and years of knitting experience, but hopefully one day I'll get to that point where I can just really have confidence with my knitting. But really enjoying the way that this is knitting up, and I think that's pretty much it for what I'm currently working on and what I finished. I'm very happy with the final product of the Wandering Flock, the Plumpy Shawl, using mainly the Wandering Flock yarn. And I don't know if any of you subscribe to the newsletter, but I was so happy to see my name selected as one of the giveaway winners for the Wandering Flock, for participating in the Flock Along, which is the knit along, and very thankful for that. I ended up shipping the winnings to my friend that gifted me the yarn, so I'm so thankful that she gifted me the yarn to begin with, so that I can participate in the yarn or make along or knit along. And yes, so I hope you are doing well. I originally wanted to make a video once every couple of weeks, but it's been difficult, maybe because I don't knit so fast and I don't really have a lot to show, even if I were to do one video a couple of weeks. So maybe it'll turn out to be maybe one video here and there. And on Instagram, I'll share a little bit more of like what I'm working on. I usually do a lot of knitting in the car as well, like if we're going somewhere running errands. And so sometimes I'll share bits of that over there. If you're into journaling, I do some journaling videos, but that's on a separate channel. I'll leave that link down below if you are interested in journaling videos. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.